Today's video's topic is how to become more confident, which I honestly thought was really fitting just because this is my first ever video on YouTube. And a year ago, I couldn't even speak in front of my own class. And now I'm posting to a bunch of people I don't even know. So, I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how I got here and how you can get too. First, let's go back to the basics. What is confidence? Confidence is a self assurance or trust in a plan, a system, or a person. There's a really important word in this, which is trust. I believe that self trust is basically the same as confidence. And sure, there is an approach that you can take, which is fake it till you make it, which works for some people, but it's more of a surface thing. And if you want real inner confidence, you have to gain self trust. There are three main parts to gaining trust in yourself. First is keeping promises. Second is going to be stepping out of your comfort zone. And third is being authentic. So I'm going to dive into these a little bit more, and I hope that you learn something by the end of this video. First, I'm going to be talking about keeping promises to yourself, which sounds easy enough, right? Well, not always. So, when I first started on this journey to becoming more confident, I really thought that it was all about the external things, like how you look or how you talk. But it was really more internal than anything. So, why this basically matters a lot is because your brain makes connections. And what I started doing that really helped me a lot with this, that I made myself some small promises every single day, and I kept them. And as these little things added up, and they gave me more and more confidence, eventually I could go on to bigger things. And I was like, okay, well, I could do all of these things, so why can't I do that? And this really helped me shift my mindset from like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not confident enough to do that, to, okay, well, I did this. I can obviously do that then as well. And these promises can be like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. And you go. I'm going to work on this dream. And you do, or you take steps towards it. Because these don't have to be like huge, enormous things. I think a lot of us think that we have to go really big with these things, but it is really consists of small little steps that you take every single day. And here, what I really want to emphasize is that it really just matters that you keep these promises to yourself every single time and that you remain consistent. And consistency is obviously one of the things that can help your confidence a lot, as well as discipline. And there is this quote that I love from one of my favorite YouTubers, Lena Lifts, which is discipline is the highest form of self love, which I really do think is true. And I really do think it relates to keeping promises in a way that basically some of these promises, or like keeping these promises, is a form of discipline. So if you take anything away from this part, it's basically to understand that keeping promises will make you more confident than anything. The second part is stepping out of your comfort zone, which I know can be really scary, but that's exactly why it works. So, you know that feeling when you get up on a stage, for example, and your mind immediately starts scrambling, like, oh my god, I cannot do this. Everyone's gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna mess up. But in a few seconds or a few minutes, you are already forgetting all that and you are doing the thing. And when you calm down and you think about it, you're like so proud because you actually just did that thing. Well, here's a little fun fact for you. Our brains actually take 90 seconds to forget that uncomfortable feeling of not feeling ready. And this is actually very useful because a lot of the times we go like, oh my god, I have to plan for this. I have to do this and this and this in order to feel confident to do that, which is actually so not true at all. Because the only thing that is gonna actually make you confident is doing the thing. Because once you do the thing, you are going to actually prove it to yourself that you can do it, which is never going to happen if you just keep planning. So, what you can basically do here is try new hobbies, go into more social settings, or whatever you are fearing. One actionable step that I do really recommend because it just makes way more sense and it does make others' days also better is giving compliments to strangers. So pick one stranger every single day and give them a compliment. When I was first starting out, doing this helped me so much, and especially because you see other people smiling at you and having a positive reaction to the things you did. It will just make you so much more confident in yourself and so much more happier. So, if you take anything from this part, it should be that you can do it. And the only thing that will make you sure of it is if you actually do it. In this last section, I'm going to be talking about authenticity, self love, and protecting your energy. I think when it comes to confidence, these things cannot really be separated just because you cannot have one without the other. So, what is authenticity? Authenticity is basically when you remain true to yourself at all times. And as I said earlier, a lot of people approach confidence with this fake it till you make it mindset, which can work. But when you fake it, it means a lot of times that you are going to change things about yourself that you aren't really feeling good about or that you feel aren't really yours. And when you remain authentic to yourself because you can love yourself the way you are, you will be so much more confident. And here's where protecting your energy comes in because you have to set standards for yourself and for everybody around you because you cannot tolerate disrespect. And one thing that has been really hard for me is trying to push away people who really don't share the same opinions as me. Because, yes, while it is fine to have people around you who have different opinions, and that's what makes the world so great because everybody is so unique. If somebody is very clearly disagreeing with you all the time and they're becoming disrespectful over that, that's not good. So set standards for yourself, set standards for others, love yourself, and remain authentic. This is basically all that this part is about. And you will have to always remember that outside validation will never be as good as the validation that you can give yourself. So love yourself, trust your decisions, and never let anybody's opinion change that. I love you, girl, and I will see you in the next video.